In this video, we are going to learn how to use lightproof group in Unity. In Unity, a lightproof group is a component that is used to create real-time global illumination in a scene. This is a very useful component when you have a dynamic or changing environment, like you have an object or multiple objects which is moving around into the scene. This is where you need a lightproof group, because a lightproof group actually contains the information about the lighting conditions at a specific point in the scene and use this information to interpolate lighting and shading for dynamic objects. So let's see how to use a lightproof group. As you can see, I have created a scene where there are multiple emissive objects. If we look around a little bit, there are actually so many emissive materials, and these two are the most intense emissive objects. The first one is the blue one and the second one is the yellow one. And this scene is having baked lighting, which actually uses baked light maps. If I show you the baked light maps, here you can see these are the baked light maps that has been created through baked global illumination. So first of all, you need to know one thing, that when we have baked lighting in a scene, that means the objects of that scene, most of the objects of that scene must be static, and they must generate light map UVs. So if I check the objects here, like these two, emissive blue, and go to the inspector, and I can see this is set to static. Also this one is also set to static, and also the garage object, which is the room of the scene, this is also a static object. So in a baked lighting, you need to have the objects in static mode. That's how the baked light map works. Now there is the situation comes where you will have an object which will not be static. In a scene where there is baked lighting, if you create a non-static object there, the light won't affect that object. So what I mean by that, let's create a non-static object into our scene. To create a static object, I'll simply go to the hierarchy, and under the 3D object, I'll create an object capsule. This is a little big for our scene, so let's make it a little smaller. So I'm going to make it 0.5, and I'm going to place it to the ground. Our object is now placed into the ground. As you can see, there are many lights in the scene, but no light is affecting this capsule, which means we cannot see any shadow or any light bounce over this capsule object. That means it's not working actually. So how to make it work? This is where the lightproof comes. So I'm going to show you how you can create a lightproof group and make these emissive lights, or the overall lights of the scene, affect onto this object. Let's create a lightproof group first. To create a lightproof group, I'll have to go to the hierarchy, and I'll right click, and in the lighting section I'll have the lightproof group. So our lightproof group is now created, which is a little bit bigger. It's actually very big. So let's scale it down a little bit. So as our capsule is set to 0.5, I'll make the lightproof group a little bit bigger than that. So 0.7. And I'll place this lightproof group at the center of this object. So I'll copy the wall transform of that object from here, copy wall transform, and I'll set the lightproof group transform to that copied wall transform. So you can see the light probe group is now set at the center of that object. Now you can see there are multiple points here, which are actually the probes, which will contain the lighting settings, the lighting conditions of our scene. But this will only work into this area, so we have to make it to the whole scene. Like we have to increase the area of the light probe. So how we can do that? We will simply go to the light probe group here, and there is an option called edit light probe positions. We'll click on that, and now you can edit this light probe group probes. So I'll select these four, and I'll duplicate this. So you can duplicate in two ways. You can either click on this object, or you can just press Ctrl D. So I have clicked this object, so these probes are duplicated, and I'll simply set this to this position, and I'll do it again. I'm pressing Ctrl D and to this, and I'm pressing Ctrl D once again, and I'll set it to this. Okay. So now I'll select these four, and I'll press Ctrl D, and I'll set it till here, and I'll press Ctrl D once again, and I'll set it to okay. So now I'll select this okay. I'll select this part of the lightroom group, and I'll press Ctrl D and set it up to here. And once again I'll press Ctrl D and set it up to here. Is it covering our whole scene? No, there are still left. So I'll press Ctrl D once again, and I'll set it up to this area. Okay, it's a little bit outside. Okay, and I'll do the same for this side also. Okay, now our light probe groups are set. Now you have to rebake your scene. So we'll simply go to the lighting tab. From the scene tab here, I'll press generate lighting. And our scene is now baked. As you can see, the light is now affecting our capsule, and it is showing default material color, which is this color, a little bit grayish color. So now you can see gizmos of the probes, which are containing the light settings from the scene. If I now move our capsule a little bit closer to the blue one, now we can actually see the blue light is bouncing over the object in this portion. And if I move this capsule to this, and we'll see the orange color or the yellow color is falling over the capsule. So that means our light probe is now working. And if I move it here, you can see there is only white light falling over the area. So the cube is showing its actual default material color. So there is no blue or yellow light, because this is far away from those objects. And if I move this again up to this area, you can see the capsule is now having the more intense blue light fall off over this. And if I do the same for the yellowish part, and you can see the yellow light is falling over the capsule. And if I set this to the middle of these two light sources, And now you can see from both sides that from the yellow side it's having the yellowish light fall off, and from the bluish side it is having the bluish light fall off. So that is how light probe works in Unity, and you can do it very easily, just simply creating the light probe group and position it to the expected position. If I now compare the game scene and the scene view from here, now we can see the both side at once. Now I'll move this object here. So you can see from this side it is having a little bit light, white light, and from this side it is having a little bit yellow light, and from this side also you can see it is having blue light because it's more near to the blue light source. And if I move this to here, you can see this is actually having the yellowish color light fall off over this object. So this is the way you can create light probe and make your game scene look so cool.